back, everybody. We made it through another week, hopefully. I'm sure you're all did. We're all good. What we're doing this week, I'm not sure what to call it. It started out as like a baked macaroni and cheese, and then it got changed up to baked cauliflower and cheese. And then one time I had made chicken enchiladas, and I had some the cheesy sauce and chicken left over, so that got mixed in like that. Well, then I got some enchilada sauce mixed in and some more cheese added in, and it's kind of morphed into what it is today. But so we can talk about and figure out what to call it along the way, but we'll get started anyway. We just have some cream cheese. We're going to use all of this. Put that over there, out of the way. Find my knife. And I just make them into smaller pieces so it'll melt a little easier. Like so. It's a kind of a cold, snowy day here in Tennessee. So this is a real good meal, you know, kind of stick to you a little bit, but we got going here. All right. This here is Colby Jack cheese. Same thing, I'm just gonna cut chunks out of it so it'll melt a little easier. So, because it being a snowy day like this, you know, kind of makes me remember childhood when we were kids, and a day like today, you know, with the snow and no school, and we'd have been right out all day playing, sliding, building snowmen and stuff. But Karen and I went to town this morning, and we were talking about it on the way to town and back. You don't see many kids out playing anymore in the snow. You just don't seem to do it anymore, you know. You don't have kids out riding down a hill on a hunk of plastic in the snow. This is just Velveeta cheese. I know it's not real cheese, but it does a real good job, so we'll use it. You don't see kids out playing much anymore like that. And we were joking about it, so well, they probably got an app now. You know, snow sledding app or something. You know, when we were kids, we'd be out all day. Where I grew up, across the street was a big old cemetery, and an old abandoned town road run next to that cemetery. And you go past that cemetery is the highest point of land in that area. So you go past that cemetery, and the old town road, it pitches downhill. There's 3 hills there, and they're pretty steep. The second one's real steep, but we used to play all day out there, sledding down those hills, you know, and we used to play a game like tag. We'd all be at the top of the hill, and one person, whoever was it, would go down the hill and hide. Usually down the second hill, that was the steepest hill. And then they'd holler back when they were hiding, and we'd take off on our sleds. The only rule was you couldn't pull out in front of somebody coming down the hill. So you had to let them go by, and then you come out behind them on your sled and try to catch them. We'd do that all day long, you know, that was great fun. We're just gonna pop this in the microwave so it can melt. That. You probably noticed in the past my stickers here. so I can feel where the number is. That's number 1, 0, and the start. We're just going to do a minute for now, get them started, and then we'll stir them around. While that's doing that, we'll cut this chicken up. That was so much fun. We do that all day long, you know, ride that down that hill like that. And it's, I'm sure there's still kids that do it, but it's a shame, you know, you don't see kids out playing like that much anymore in the snow. But those 3 hills together, they were probably 3/4 of a mile, maybe a mile. But excuse me, if you were brave enough to go down the 3rd hill, at the bottom of that hill was Mill Stream. We just called it the brook, but it was Mill Stream. And that 3rd hill didn't run off. It stopped dead into the water. I mean, you go right into the creek if you didn't stop. So we didn't tend to go down that hill too much. But let's see how this is doing. Probably go 2 minutes on this one. There's my 1, my 2. 2 minutes. So I remember one day, one of the neighborhood kids, you know, I spoke before, there was tons of kids in the neighborhood, all varying ages. So I remember, I don't know who brought it, but somebody had brought one of the old family toboggans. And there just happened to be the right amount of kids there to ride this toboggan down these series of hills. And of course, you know, you put the younger kids in the front, because if you're gonna strap a bunch of kids to a sheet of plywood and careen them down the hill, you want the little kids smashing into the trees first, right? So that was all right. So we get on this toboggan. We're at the top of the 1st hill. We set off, and by the time we hit that 2nd hill, now this 2nd hill is probably 1/4 of a mile long, and it's 6%, 7% grade. It's a pretty steep hill. So by the time we hit the 2nd hill, you know, we're doing 72, 73 miles an hour probably. Seemed like it anyway. Down over the 2nd hill we go, gathering speed. Kids are losing mittens and hats and everything else. Well, along come the 3rd hill. We all know what's at the bottom of the 3rd hill is the brook. So we start down over that 3rd hill, and I mean, we're gaining speed that we know we're not going to stop before the brook. We're going to end up in the brook. So we get to the bottom, and somebody in the back, probably my brother, yells, "Bail out," or whatever he said. So we all just tip over, you know, to stop this toboggan, death trap. So there we are, all laid out at the bottom of this hill. It must have looked like a plane crash or something, bodies laying everywhere. You don't see stuff like that anymore, kids playing like that, you know? Check this cheese again, find my spoon. Starting to get soft. Cutting up chicken. Get it all? There's another piece of chicken. I browned this chicken before we started. just to cook it, put a little brown on it. And when I say I browned it, I mean Karen browned it. It's alright, it's okay to cheat once in a while. But I like to brown it first, cook it first to make sure it gets cooked. Because it's hard to check it once it's in the mixture, you know, in the oven. Kind of hard to make sure you don't get one that's half cooked. Got most of it. It should just be cauliflower now. Yep. Ready to check that cheese again. What should we call this? Like I say, it used to be just a baked macaroni and cheese, but it's morphed into something totally different. There's not even macaroni in it anymore. You could put macaroni in it if you want. We like cauliflower better. Cheese is all melted. Smells good already. I wish I had some chips to dip into it, but we'll keep going with what we're doing. I steam the cauliflower beforehand. This little rig right here is such a time saver, such a lifesaver. Got it from Pampered Chef. It's just a little vegetable steamer. Some of you may already have one of these and know exactly what I'm talking about. Put a little water in it, throw your vegetables in it. Put your cover on, snaps on, toss it in the microwave till your vegetables are steamed to your desired likeness. I got this from a woman named Lisa Rodriguez. She is my Pampered Chef dealer, if you will. We'll put her link down in the description so you can go visit her page and see if she has something you just can't live without. But cheese is melty. Bowl's hot. We're just gonna throw this chicken right in the cheese. Like that. We're going to bring cauliflower over.
There's a little more chicken on the top if you want that too.
Up here?
Nope, on the cutting board.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Up to your, yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we might as well throw them in too, right?
One more piece towards the middle. There you go.
There we go. I'm just gonna quickly break these up just so they're not really huge chunks, you know. Makes it a little easier to eat. For me anyway. It's interesting, like when I eat a salad, I'll take my fork and I'll stab around in that salad, and sometimes I don't get anything. It's funny, you know, we make a joke about it. I'm the only guy you'll ever meet that starved to death with a plate of food in front of me. But you got a joke about it, but sometimes I won't get anything. Sometimes I'll get a piece of lettuce or something, you know, that's 9 feet long and it slaps me in the side of the face and drags dressing all across the side of my face, you know. I get righted around from that mess and go to stabbing again, and might not be anything there. Might be another big piece, or you don't know. Don't know what you're gonna get. It can be interesting. Trying to, especially in a restaurant where you're not familiar. But it's all the stuff we have to learn, right? Get a bunch of this in there. a neat little tool. I just got it. See if we can get it set up. Maybe I can show it to you next week. But it's just a little, it's like a little pen. And it reads, it'll read the labels to me. You put a label on whatever it is you want. And then you scan that label and you talk into the little pen. So next time you scan that label, it'll tell you what it is, like green shirt or, you know, package of steak or however. So we'll see if we can get that thing figured out. But getting there. The rest of this in there so that cheese stiffens up too much. Mixed in, yes, okay. Oop. Just knocked that on the floor. That it. This is just green chili sauce and red chili sauce, and about equal parts, as you can see. I just mixed them in here because we have great big containers of it, so it's just easier to do it this way. Get it in the bowl. Felt like it went in the bowl. Didn't get it all over yourself. Didn't do a good job. Mix this baby up good. But we were always out in the snow as kids, making snow forts and, you know, snowmen and sledding, and then, you know, once some of the older neighborhood kids got old enough, you know, and got snowmobiles or stuff like that. Boy, wasn't that fun, especially for us little kids, you know. We'd sled down the bottom of that hill and then long walk up that hill for a little kid, you know, towing a sled. So usually had to trade off some chore responsibilities, but we could usually get an older kid to tow us back up the hill with a snowmobile or whatever, you know. I might have to promise to mow the lawn for a month or, you know, wash the dishes or whatever, but it all worked. We're all here, right? I think that's mixed pretty good. See if we can get this in this bowl here without too much of a catastrophe.
Move it back just a little. There you go. Again, move it back again. There you go.
There we go.
Pretty much got it.
Alright. Kind of flatten her out in here a little bit. Like I talked about before, Karen and I are from Maine, so I told you it's a snowy day here in Tennessee. Well, we got 4 inches of snow, which is a big storm for this area. And no way am I picking on any one culture or anybody, but because it's different for us, because we're not used to, you know, we're used to big storms. 4 inches, that's nothing, you know. You hardly even notice that. We went to town this morning, and town was a ghost town. Nobody around, most things closed, schools canceled. kind of funny to us. But there's that. Over here somewhere, some Mexican cheese. If I can get into it, my hands are slippery now. There we go. This bugger I'm going to dump right on. Like so. Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, everything's done. You're probably looking at my plate going, hey, wait a minute, I don't remember him making chicken. Stick around after, little bonus video making this chicken. I'll explain all that to you in the video, but let's give this a try and see how it come out. Smells good. A little piece of cheese without much on it. There we go. Boy, that's good. Just the right amount of chili sauce in that. Very good. We'll try this chicken out. See how this come out. Good and crunchy. Pretty good. I like that. There it is, folks. Another simple, easy meal. Not a lot to it. Probably have everything right in your cupboard. Don't be afraid to try it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Remember, if you didn't get it all over yourself, you didn't do a good job. All we're doing right now, you're probably looking at this setup and saying, geez, didn't we just do this last week? We did, but one little, just little difference. Last week we made the cornflake chicken and it was a hit. A lot of people liked it, a lot of great response from it. And somebody mentioned to me, have you ever tried crunchy Cheetos chicken? And I said, no, but I'm going to. So I thought, why not try it with you guys? I'll just let you know how it is. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you if it's no good. I'm sure it's gonna be good though. So basically same thing. These are just bone in, skin on chicken thighs. Use whatever chicken you like. I like this type of chicken like this. It stays pretty moist when you cook it. It doesn't dry out real bad. But same thing, just going in the flour, like so. Bang off any excess. Going in the egg wash. Both sides coated up good. And then the magic ingredient. These are crunchy Cheetos. I ground a few up with the processor there. I got a few more in there in case we need them, but I'm not sure if we'll need all of it or not. So, but it smells good already. Maybe in there. Where did I go? Yeah, there we go. What's everybody else? Secret chicken recipe. Fried chicken. I also heard somebody uses Rice Krispies. I may try that sometime too. This sounded really good to me, so I figured we'll try it out and see how it goes. Looks like we're probably gonna need a few more of these babies. They do stick to your fingers really bad. I don't know how well that one's coated, but yeah. Get a couple layers off my fingers here. Grind the rest of these babies up. See how those are. I'll go a little more. Well. Might be good enough. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah, make sure we got it this time. Whatever it is, it's going to be good enough, right? That comes off. Yeah, there we go. Dump these right back in there. I think I got most of them in the bowl. This guy right there. Okay. See if we can finish putting this together. Egg wash. Get them in there all nice and eggy. Right over here. Make sure he's covered up in good shape. Throw him in with his buddies. Try to get a little, see if we can get some more on this guy. Make sure he's good and do this as best we can. We want to give this an honest try. Okay, there we go. Boy, makes a mess of you. Same as last time, these are going in the oven, 375 degrees, about an hour. We'll check them after a half an hour, see how they're doing, flip them over, and we'll see you when they're done.